Hey there, everyone. It is February 14th, 2025, and we're going to go over the work we did today. So, initially, we worked on some commissions in the morning, and then this afternoon, we switched over to working on Julian, who is looking pretty darn good. So, um, as you can see, we've got some more hair, and we've kind of continued to refine our hair workflow. Probably still a little bit more to figure out, a little more uh, things to iron out. Uh, but overall, it's a good process. So we're going to go over what's going on here. So uh, basically, for the main chunk of hair, we'll start with the head hair. We have a groom. So it takes this strand, this single strand, and then for each curve, it kind of puts this strand along the curve. And in our bases here, we can see the head base and this curve object. So if I go in here, I'm actually able to sculpt this. And this is why we're using this workflow, because it should allow for some very straightforward variation. If I make sure everything's selected, so that way I can start editing it. And so this way we could start tweaking and in a very literal way, very like a barber in a barber shop, we're going to go in and kind of groom and move the hair around and make sure it's fitting the body. And so this is just a nice natural way to work. Feels good. And we've got some nice shapes in there. And then there's also some nice additional features that if I wanted to add a strand, we could even have it so that it interpolates. So it looks at the surrounding strands and then just fills it in. So it's kind of matching the flow of the current hair as it already is. Like for example, right there, boom, you see it matches the flow. And that's good because that really just saves me like a ton of time looking to fill these in. And we also switched the hair color to black and white. And that's because we actually will be able to put a gradient on top of the hair color to make it any hair. So we have just this kind of blank hair strands, and then we can put any type of color we want on top of that. So that's going to be super useful in order to create a lot of variation. I might still give it just a base color, but in Unity we could go in, take our hair, add a bit of color, and then use something like this hue shift here to change the actual color. So it's a little rough right now because I don't have it completely set up, but I think you can kind of get the idea. Specifically, we're going to use this color grading workflow, which is a little more adept at changing the color. So super cool. Gives us a lot of options. Additionally, you can see we have eyelashes. I'll probably switch the eyebrow to use this hair card method because right now I have it baked into this texture that's on the body, but we lose a lot of detail that way. So I think I'm going to remove it, pull it off, and bring it into our other project. Additionally, you'll notice we have some brown eyes looking pretty good, and we're just kind of continuing to make additional eye textures and eye materials, which will allow for easy swapping. So whenever we want a different eye color, we just drag and drop, boom, 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 easy. I think I'll try to make a new eye color every day, and I go from there. But it's looking pretty good. I think once I kind of refine the shapes, because right now it's pretty clear that these are tubes. Like you look at the end and it's kind of this abrupt cutoff. Ideally, the texture itself is going to have taper to like smaller, thinner strands. And I think that's what's going to really help sell it as hair. And then also just having some more variation. But so far, it's kind of a quick workflow. And I think it's promising for kind of the direction I want to go. Yeah. And And we can also go in and edit the rotation of each strand as well. So influence, you can see I can spin each hair strand. Right now, I don't think the radius is influencing anything, but that'd be the next thing to add is radius information so that I can thin out each strand. Yeah, looking pretty good. That's pretty much all we've done, except for when we're exporting the character now. The one last change I've done today is put him into a T pose. So we model a character in an A pose, basically arms down like this. But when we export, I'm now realizing that it's best to get him into a perfect T pose. That way, there's the least amount of translation, or because Unity you internally converts it to a T pose, and that's fine. But they do. It's really a funky system to work with on the Unity end of things, and it can break pretty easily. And I just don't want to rely on Unity to give myself an accurate T-pose for the character. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. And probably work tomorrow as well. I think I'm going to stream another full day of work on our NPCs tomorrow. I think we'll try to make one more character and then switch over to doing, and definitely touch on facial rigging, because that's kind of the final thing for making sure our characters are ready to go, is giving them expressions. And once we have that done, they should be super easy to drop into like a VTubing application, animate them. That'll be cool. Yeah, I'm going to end it here for the YouTube recording. Hope to see you all in the next one.